Many brothers I be sparking and rushing, man, like inside the dark, call me Bill Snatcher. Just a brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my sacred life.
Yo, what's going on, guys? So before we get into today's video, just gotta say that today's video is gonna be brought to you by Beautiful Halo. And I gotta say, if you guys want to purchase some really awesome anime merchandise, everything from Boruto / Naruto to Black Clover, My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball, click down in the description box and use my link below in order to do so. It's also a really great way to help support the channel. As a bit of an added bonus, a lot of their anime merchandise, like you saw in the video just now, is on sale right now, and there's free worldwide shipping on anything over $29. And as a quick heads up, before you order anything, make sure you check the size chart. It's very detailed and it's going to prevent you from ordering something that might not actually fit you. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explained here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, the manga. And for anime only fans, this is a time of the month where a lot of the content that we see on the channel is going to be spoiler heavy, so I thank you for your support. However, with all that being said though, if you're still here, I'm assuming that you guys are caught up with the manga and you guys don't care about me talking about spoilers. So I think now we need to have a serious conversation about Boruto when it comes to Boruto killing Sumire. And the reason I want to bring this up is in the last chapter, one of the things that we actually found out was that Amado had came up with these Byakugan Pills. And one of the big things that a lot of people in the community have said is like, hey, Boruto more than likely is not going to take these pills. Boruto's likely going to reject it. And that really got me to thinking, what exactly would be a big of enough trigger for Boruto to refuse to take this Byakugan Pills in order to suppress the Sasuke gene inside of him and the Byakugan gene inside of him as well. And the thing that kind of crossed my mind is the fact that, like, look, Boruto has already harmed his master and Boruto's been torn up and guilted over it, and yet at the same time it doesn't seem like that's in itself going to be enough to make Boruto want to take those pills. And if harming somebody that he looks up to is not enough, I think that actually taking the life of somebody that he cares for would be enough to actually push Boruto to taking those pills. And when you think about it narratively, it actually makes a little bit of sense, and it could explain why Sumire has been built up in the manga so much in the way she has. Because look at it from this perspective right here. She's shown high interest in Kawaki, she's shown high interest in Boruto, and in trying to find a way to stop Boruto as far as with that Sasuke transformation. And she has done all this research with Katasuke, and now she's doing it with Amado, so you know that she likely knows about those Byakugan Pills. And so that's one of those things to where Sumire, her being the catalyst that actually makes Boruto take those pills, it could be something that works. And the way that Masashi Kishimoto does a lot of his writing, and since he's the one that's taking over the writing now, since Kishimoto's doing the writing, he does a lot of stuff like how George Lucas does, which is George Lucas would always talk about with the Star Wars trilogies, how they always rhyme. They always, to a certain extent, mirror one another. And when you look at Boruto, Boruto pays a lot of homages to various things that have happened in Naruto. And I think one way you could actually do this is pay it off, just as how Kakashi ended up killing Rin and it caused this huge catalyst effect for Obito. You could have a very similar situation here with Boruto and Sumire. And while I personally like her character, I do think that having her be the reason why Boruto ends up having to take those Byakugan Pills, that could be something that works right there, because it would further create more conflict with Boruto as a character, because Boruto has already shown that he's afraid of that power. He's afraid of Momoshiki taking over. And yet at the same time, if the fandom is correct that he's not going to want to take those pills, if that is indeed the case, this could be the thing that actually pushes it. And then where you get further conflict is that this would be something where Boruto has lost control, and it wasn't like something like what happened with somebody like Sasuke who could actually defend himself. Sumire would be absolutely helpless if Boruto ended up going into a Boruto Shiki type of a transformation in front of her. And I think this is where you can actually start playing with the idea that because Boruto's at 80% karma progression, that the frequency at which Momoshiki can actually take over his body is going to actually increase. And I think that that would give further urgency on him having to take those pills. But I think the one thing where you can really hammer that home and hit the heartstrings is with Sumire. And in the manga, there's been enough development with her character where she's been involved in everything to where all you need is a small little tweak. A lot of this would work narratively if you end up getting the revelation that Amado is somebody that is a puppet master pulling the strings from the shadows, or somebody has an ulterior motive, which is being implied because in the manga chapter, one of the things they're saying is that Naruto nor the 5 Kage, they don't actually trust Amado. So they're opening up the back door for the possibility that Amado is not somebody that can be trusted, and getting rid of Sumire would be something that works in Amado's favor because ever since he's been in Sumire's presence, she's always given this dude a side eye and she's been watching him very closely. I don't think that we're in a situation where she is working by him by accident. I think that she's doing so in an effort to actually protect Boruto as well as Kawaki as well. And so this could be something that actually works on this right here. And I do think that there could be a different reason for him actually giving Boruto those pills, whether it be to potentially take Boruto off the board or there's some type of other thing behind it. But I do think that having this right here, this could work, and this would also be a good way to actually start you going into that time skip of where all of a sudden we go into the time skip and you know that the stakes are a lot higher. Just as part 1 of Naruto ended on a huge low note when Naruto versus Sasuke ended with Sasuke looking down at Naruto and then eventually Sasuke leaving to join Orochimaru, and Naruto being given an ultimatum by Jiraiya. They're like, look, you can either listen to me and give up on Sasuke, or I will leave you here in the village and I will have Anbu Black Ops placed around you and you will be forbidden from ever leaving the village. Naruto had this little speech and talked Jiraiya and allowing him to go training, etc. And it ended on that end. But at the very next panel, you had the Katasuke saying that their operation was beginning to commence. And so I think you could do a very similar thing there to where, let's say you have the same thing where part 1 of Boruto ends with a huge tragedy. In this case, he didn't get his ass kicked by anybody, but instead Boruto actually ends up taking the life of one of his former classmates, somebody that truly cares for him. You could have it end off on that note and you transition over to Code, or you transition after that to Sasuke or Amado or Naruto, somebody sitting him down and saying you need to take these pills, you didn't want to take them, but now you clearly have no choice. You will further lose control. And I think a good way to actually have one of the last panels you have with Boruto would be to have Momoshiki's words being replayed in Boruto's head, where Momoshiki tells him that those eyes of yours will take everything away from you. I think that that's actually something narratively that can actually work for Boruto as a character right here. And I think after that, where you transition over to Code and Ida and you just have it where they're doing whatever it is that we know that they're planning to do post time skip. I think that you could have something there to where narratively this actually raises the stakes in a way to where the readers are more invested. And I think that this would actually make Boruto more of a sympathetic character if Boruto actually lost something. It would make him more relatable at this point, because it can only be so long we can deal with this hovering cloud of, well, Boruto might lose this, Boruto might lose this. At some point, you got to show us the heartbreak that Boruto's gonna feel. You can't have this be something that is pushed off to the very end. If you keep up with Jujutsu Kaisen, if you look at what Yuji and the Sukuna relationship are, it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. The Boruto and Momoshiki dynamic, it's what Yuji and Sukuna is currently. I think that just as Yuji's going through it in the Shibuya arc, and he is doubting himself and he is losing people that he cares for, I think you need to be in the exact same situation here. You need to be in the exact same situation. Boruto needs to pay a price. Sasuke getting his shinobi disabilities card because now Sasuke's lost his arm and he's lost his eye. That's not gonna be good enough. Naruto having his pet put down to sleep. That's not gonna be good enough. We don't care that Naruto lost the QB. We need something else. We need something tangible that directly affects Boruto. However, I want to know from you guys, what are you guys' thoughts about this possibility? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.